What's up, film jammers? Today, I'm gonna share some tips for becoming an AC or assistant camera in the film business. I think this is one of the most underappreciated jobs on a film set, but it's also a job that if it's not done correctly, whoo daddy. If you're good at pulling focus though, you'll have a lot of consistent work. Today, I'm gonna give you some tips on what I look for in a great camera assistant. Focus the camera. The main job of a first AC or focus puller is to maintain focus on the camera, either by pulling focus remotely or off the barrel. On smaller sets, you may also have other jobs that would typically be done by the second AC fall into your lap, like slating the camera. The smaller the set, the more responsibility each crew member typically has. Most importantly though, as first AC, your job is to assist the DP or director of photography in making sure the camera department is prepped and ready for battle on a film set. Here are some other things that make a great AC. Think ahead and be aware. One thing that good ACs do is anticipate by listening to the DP and director talk. If they're having a conversation about the next shot, for example, and you hear that a lens change maybe is being discussed, or if the camera is moving from tripod to gimbal, you can be ahead of the game so your camera team is ready. So be aware what's going on around set. I see a lot of people pull out their cell phones or talk to the sound guy in between takes, and we all love a good sound guy conversation. But we're here to work, people. Label your camera and make a clean build. Now this can be as simple as putting an A label on your A camera and tidying up cables, but for me, when an AC takes the time to really make a nice, super clean camera build, it shows me they take pride in their job. I like having each camera labeled in paper tape with a different color around the frame of the camera. That way you can easily see across set which camera is where. Using these film filter tags, which Velcro onto your camera, you can easily label what frame rate, what filters, etc. are in your matte box. I highly recommend picking up a set if you're an AC. When camera department is organized and clean, people notice. Now on the other hand, if you have cables hanging off the camera and your camera cart is a mess, it can not only be dangerous for the operator, but it sort of invites chaos onto the film set, I've noticed. But if you keep your area clean, keep your camera looking clean, and build that passion into your camera build and camera cart, you set a precedent for your whole camera department and the other crew. That's power. Ask for marks. If you need marks to nail a shot, don't be afraid to ask the actors or stand-ins to go to their marks. And if the AD or DP doesn't have the actors do this, don't be shy. Speak up and make sure to get the actors on their marks to set your focus marks. You don't want to be the person who misses critical focus on the really important scene where Vito tells Michael Corleone that he's running the family business now. You're gonna have big problems. Big problems, kid. Big problems, huh? Pre-label your media cards on each camera. What this means is tape your labels onto the side of the camera with A001 or A002, etc. for each respective camera. When the card is filled up, you already have the label and can quickly hand it off to the DIT. This is especially important if you're doing a multi-camera shoot and have a lot of media to keep track of on set. And pre-labeling means you're not doing it while you're filming and less likely to make mistakes. Oops, I didn't label it and we formatted the card, Mr. DP. Don't joke about losing media. 15 things you need in your camera pouch. Next, I want to go over some gear that I always recommend having in your AC bag on set. These are tools that I expect my ACs to have whether I'm doing a feature film or a corporate job. If you're the first AC, I recommend having all the tools for the second AC as well. Sometimes I'll do a shoot and the client hires a less experienced second AC, and in that situation, they can use the first AC's tools and you still have the right gear to get the job done. Paper tape. You'll use this tape to set marks for the actors on the ground, and you'll use it to label your cards. Get a variety of colors so you can rotate the colors each day when labeling media cards. An air blaster, or blower, and compressed air. I always recommend blowing a lens before you mount it to the camera. And after you remove it to put it away back in the case. Dust is your enemy. Use an air blower to keep it off your fancy cinema lenses. I use a 45-degree angle when blowing to avoid pushing the dust further into the lens. I also highly recommend the larger sized air blaster. The smaller ones don't really move as much air. And I use compressed air when I need a little extra push or dirt gets on the camera. Don't ever shoot compressed air directly into the sensor. Pancro Lens Cleaner. If you do get something on your lens, Pancro is the only substance most camera people trust to put on their cinema glass. Keep a bottle in your AC tool belt. It's not cheap though, $20 for a little bottle. Nectar of the gods. Kimtech wipes. If you have to wipe a lens, these are the wipes that most camera folk that I know trust. You spray a little Pancro, wipe it with a little Kimtech wipe, you have yourself a little lens cleaning party. Mini screwdrivers. These are key for attaching your tripod plate to your camera base plate. The small size lets you easily fit it in your tool belt, and they're pretty cheap too. $5.99 on Amazon. Motorized screwdriver. When you have to put more gear together, these motorized screwdrivers are a huge time saver. I cut my build time on the cage for my Alexa Mini down from like 6 minutes to 90 seconds with one of these. Oh yeah. And they have different tips for different size gear. A great little gadget. Great tips. Foldable Hex Key. A lot of camera gear uses hex keys or Allen wrenches. Make sure to get one of the metric and one of the imperial versions, as there's no real standard. And I've found I need both pretty frequently. Cube tap. You never know when you're gonna need to hook up those 3 Anton Bauer chargers in the hotel room. So always keep one of these in your belt. Cube tap, double tap. Bongo ties, zip ties, and Velcro. When you're building your camera and you have 2 cables coming out of your Teradek, another 2 coming out of your monitor, audio cables over here, wireless follow focus over there, you can have a real cable salad on your hands. So Bongo ties help me manage cables on the camera. Zip ties and Velcro are useful also if you need to attach things in a pinch. Get them and put them in your bag. Insert slate. On most jobs I do, the audio tech will bring a smart slate with timecode, but I always recommend having a small insert slate if you need to run off and do second unit shots, or if the sound tech leaves and takes their slate, you can still mark your scenes. This is more of a second AC item, but again, having that full kit never hurts. Oh! Actually did hurt. Dry erase markers and Sharpies. You'll need dry erase for your slate, and Sharpies are used to label your media. Also good for labeling water bottles and marks for talent. Measuring tape. Standard measuring tapes are useful for setting marks for your distance to the lens. I've also seen some ACs use laser measuring tools as well. These are all good to have in your kit if you got the cash. And in your spare time, you can trick little kittens. Headlamp. Don't be caught in the dark loading up your camera cart without a headlamp. Headlamps are cheap and a great tool for dark places, as well as loading out in the middle of the night, because that never happens on a film set. Film filter tags. Now I mentioned these earlier and I highly recommend adding them to your kit when you can. They're around $60 for the starter set. And I'm always impressed and a bit more at ease when an AC brings these to set and builds out a camera with nice labels. It makes me happy. Your camera belt. Don't forget a convenient place to store all these goodies once you get them. Cinebags makes really nice camera pouches, and Porta Brace and Shape also have some nice options as well. Make sure it's something that you're comfortable in, as you'll likely be wearing it for 10 to 12 hours on set. Now, please just use this list as a starting point. There's a lot of other AC gear that could be useful. And if I missed anything, please feel free to add it down in the comments. I've also got links to all of these items in the description so you can execute a well-coordinated Amazon shopping spree and be prepared fully for your next film shoot. I wish you all of the best, and may all of your shots be in focus.
In focus you will, young camera assistant. There is no do or trying or doing or only focusing. No!
Did you do it? On cue? The right spot?
Sure.
You sure?
Want me to cut? Watch my back?
Yeah. You don't want that guilt.
Meow.